to use your legal name on KDP, or can you use a pen name? Let's talk to everybody's favorite IP and entertainment lawyer, Tony, to find out more.
My name is Tony Iliakostas. I'm an adjunct professor of entertainment law and IP at New York Law School, and I have an Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok account called The IP Professor that's dedicated to all things intellectual property.
We get a lot of questions on whether or not people have to use their legal name on places like KDP or other book printers. Tony, can you weigh in a little bit about the terms of service of this?
Yeah, so this is your standard type of provision that you would find in terms and conditions, where essentially a KDP user would have to verify who they say they are. We have 4.2 up, one of the terms and conditions laid out in KDP's terms and conditions, which basically says that you would have to ensure that all the information you provide in connection with your account, including your legal name or the name of your business, are accurate, complete, and valid as long as you use the program. This is the verification protocol that runs across the board with every single entity, not specific to KDP, but we've even seen it with Meta Verified, where now if you want to get the blue check mark, you pay for the service, but it's conditional to you listing on your Instagram account your actual legal name or a variation of your legal name, such that it matches your form of identification that you supply to Meta Verified. So it's a very specific process that is typically done in situations like this, and I expect that to be the exact same case here. And I'm sure that for a lot of you also wondering what the other rationale for having name verification in a clause like this, it's because you got to get paid, right? Your legal name, whatever it matches your tax forms, any form of identification, that has to be the way, that has to match across the entire board. And that's the one other reason why you have to provide that legal name. And then, I think the other rationale that I'm sure is on the mind of KDP is having some type of name verification process in place prevents other people from identifying as someone else that they're not. This is your typical way of preventing piracy from happening, which runs rampant across a bevy of different marketplaces. More so, we definitely have seen that in the Amazon marketplace for sure. And so I think that this is just a prohibitive measure to prevent, people who say they're, Cam Robinson from, going out there and starting their own account when in fact you, Cam, are the one that has that KDP account. This is a great, sort of way of preventing those pirates from claiming ownership of something that rightfully does not belong to them.
So it is incredibly important to make sure that we are using our legal names with KDP and with anything associated with our books to make sure that we can verify to protect ourselves as we are putting our books out in the world, so that people cannot steal what we are doing, so that people cannot claim to be us, and so that when we do have to deal with these entities like KDP, where we constantly have to verify that we are who we are and that we own the content that we actually created, this is going to be a way for us to more easily prove that and not have to jump through as many hoops on the back end. If you do have questions on using your legal name, using your pen name, we have a full playlist here on the channel with Tony breaking down how to legally use your pen names, what you need to do about that, documentation. We talk about copyright protection, and we would be happy to get your questions answered as well. Go ahead and drop those down below. And as always, you can reach out to Tony on his social medias. If you don't want to wait around for another episode, Tony, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at The IP Professor. You can check out my entertainment law podcast called End Scene. New episodes drop every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow
along as we continue to break down the terms of service of KDP and answer your questions on the legal side of publishing. We'll see in the upcoming episodes to help you navigate your writing, your publishing, and your marketing to make this your most profitable year ever.